Wagwan wazito. Another episode fall and one. Hey, Pato.
Hey, bro.
Well, it has been a long week.
It has been a long week.
It has been a long week, but hebu kwanza wiki yako kwanza imekoaje kabla to introduce guest?
Unajua last weekend tulikuwa huko Nyayo. Tukapitia 1 2 3.
Kapitia mashida mingi.
Mashida mingi. Kamera hivi umepanda juu bana TM tulia bana
kwa kamera hapa ndani
hakuna kamera hapa ndani but we understood because they didn't want the game to be publicized. I don't know, maybe probably hawataki the opponent wajue moves zao kitu kama hiyo. It made a lot of sense. Yes, and we respected her decision. But at the end of the game bana pia tulikuwa na session yetu ya ile the fun come.
You better ask somebody. So ilikuwa poa. Nilienjoy game, but despite you seen you are law abiding citizens.
Of course. Very patriotic. Very patriotic.
So when they walitu approach wakatuambia don't do this, tukasema anyway wazee tuko na special guest ndani ya nyumba leo. Na kawaida ya Fall and One unajua we do not introduce our guests. Guest tunamwacha anapiga parapanda yake mwenyewe.
Na wewe hujaji introduce bro.
I go by RJ Putba kwa Njala kama kawaida. The only positionless player in Kenya for the 90s.
Kabisa. Na mimi hapa Pato Woodness the JPT. The bench player. The super sub. Sasa guests. Wacha kwanza guest ajiintroduce. Of course.
And then tuingie kwa biashara yetu ya leo.
Of course.
You guys have set the standard here. I don't have an intro like you guys have an intro. I don't have an intro. I'm Silalei Shani. Former national team captain of the Kenya women's basketball team.
You need AKA.
Yes, that's the AKA. Currently still playing in the league, trying to retire. The knees are complaining. But the love of the game is still strong. Still got a few more runs in me, so trying to do a few things. Currently the director of sports and entertainment at Ali Mali Sports Management. It's a sports management company. Recently opened last year September.
Karibu sana.
Asante sana. Wacha kwanza nikwambie why I reached out to Silalei today. Now why I was nervous about, unajua tumekuwa na maguest wengi hapa. This one is one of those ones that I was kidogo nikiamka asubuhi nilikuwa nervous kiasi because early this year, I think ilikuwa early this year. Tulikuwa na game ya alumni wa MKU. So tukivaa zile jezi zetu za Zuku. I remember, so I was going through my phone naangalia mapicha, then nikaona hizo picha za hiyo game, hiyo ya reunion ya alumni, and I had to go back kwa YouTube niangalie zile mavideo zangu za Zuku. So Silalei is the one who was calling that game. I think she was the one who was calling kwa sababu nikisikia kwa highlights ni sauti yake, and there's one play I think nili make play ingine noma sana. Ilikuwa noma sana. Hata ilikuwa initoe Kenya. And then she called it. Mpaka leo I go back and look at it. Then I was nervous leo asubuhi kwa sababu maguest wengi wenye tumekuwa na hapa, it's people we know, people that sana tumeinteract nao hapa na pale, so unajua inakuaga ni rahisi, you just come and talk to someone that. So for Silalei si kuwa na any information. Sana jiuliza niende hapo Google nitafute ama napata vitu zenye pia. So nikasema because show yetu inakuaga sana ni unscripted, we don't go by a particular script. So nikasema we can just talk, tunaweza ongea because we already know everything that we need to ask her. Amekuwa kwa field ya media. I think kuna vitu mob tunaweza learn from her.
Yeah, she actually has a podcast.
Yeah, she has a podcast nimeiwatch. The narrative nimeicheki. I watched a few episodes hapo. Nikaona kona wazito wenye atatuletea pia. tuongee nao. So Silalei, sisi like you see Fall and One, it's a new podcast, and I know there's a lot we can learn from you. Uko na experience, so I don't know what kind of advice unaweza tupatia kwa saa hii mahali penye unatoa. Sijui kama umecheki some of our...
I did. I checked out your YouTube page.
Yeah.
Your Instagram page as well.
Yeah. So I don't know kama kuna advice unaweza tupatia saa hii like tuko kwa direction gani?
I mean, I think first of all, big up to you guys because I really like the setup that you have here.
Yeah.
It's a nice, it brings back that kind of hip hop feel, that urban basketball, street basketball kind of feel. I always loved that.
Yeah.
So it's a nice setup you have here with the podcast. You guys have nice equipment.
Thank you.
And off the bat, it's just clear to tell that you guys are passionate about the game.
Yeah.
And especially the game in Kenya, which is what is extremely relevant to all of us.
Yeah.
So it's a great first step, Right now, I feel like social media is all about followers.
Yeah.
So even as you do this podcast, look at your digital marketing plan.
Yeah.
How are you marketing yourselves on social media so that you can get more followers? How are you making yourselves visible at basketball games when you go to these basketball games, Pale Nyayo?
Yes.
Making yourself visible. Maybe long term you can think about merch,
Yeah.
I really like the name, Foul and One podcast. It's a vibey name, it's unique, you know. You guys have that nice hip hop urban feel. It would look nice on a t-shirt, it would look nice on a hat,
We have t-shirts in
Loading, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, good. So you see, you build your brand, you build your followers, and that's now how you can even draw in, for instance, sponsorship.
Yeah.
You look at these big podcasts, I Am Athlete, Pivot Podcast. I think Pivot is sponsored by a brand called Happy Dad.
Yeah.
And all they do is just put a box of the seltzer on a table.
Yeah.
And that's it. And then now that sponsorship finances the whole podcast.
Okay.
So I would say just take it step by step, but focus more on the passion side.
Yeah.
Before you even start getting into the business side.
Yeah.
But yeah, kudos to you guys for this setup you have here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so obviously you are a legend. Kenyan basketball, I started hearing your stories way back. There is someone who's killing people on court. Lazima uende uone game yake.
That time you're igluing.
Yeah, igluing days, man. Like, we used to hear stories about you.
Yes.
And how you were just killing everyone. No one could guard you. Hapo ndani ya post, I watched, nikidhani nilikuwatch only once, but I was just impressed.
Yeah.
Kabisa, you are that good, fundamentally sound, like your game was just, ilikuwa different sana. So maybe you can talk about that, tuambie like your basketball journey, how you started to, and then like where you are right now.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people think I played organized basketball from when I was very young. It's actually not true.
Yeah.
I first started playing organized basketball when I was 18 and went to the States for college.
Yeah.
Up until that point, it's just pick up, scratcho in the hood, playing with my older brother in the backyard. I mean, I learned how to play young. Like, I first picked up a basketball when I was 6 years old.
Whoa.
So my dad would teach me some stuff. My older brother and we'd watch a ton of basketball videos. There used to be these mixtapes they used to release, like for Michael Jordan, and Shaquille O'Neal, then Ray Allen, and Allen Iverson. And, that's how we pick up our moves. That's how I really used to grow my passion for the game. Then now came out the N1 mixtapes.
Yeah.
So now we figured out, the ball handling and everything. And because I used to play with men and boys, My mom would tell me she didn't want me to get injured.
Yeah.
So she told me, I'll let you play with them, just don't come back with injuries. So that's how
And the typical parent.
The typical parent, right?
Yes.
So that's how I developed my mid-range shot, because I couldn't go bang in the paint.
Yeah.
You know, so I learned how to shoot around the mid-range, create opportunities for me to score in that way. And then when I finished high school, I went to the States for college, and that's now when I played proper organized basketball.
Yeah.
And my understanding of the game still wasn't where it needed to be, which is why I was redshirted my first season.
Yeah.
Redshirted, of course, for guys who might not know, it's when you're on the team, but you can't suit up for any games.
Yes.
But I'm playing I'm going to practice, I'm going to the gym, I'm doing all the hard work,
Yeah.
but you can't play yet.
Okay.
You know? So the whole first season, I didn't play a single game.
Yeah.
It was my sophomore year when I started playing basketball, and really rose up through the ranks very quickly because the skill was there,
Yeah.
the talent was there. But now when you get to those levels of basketball, you have to have a certain IQ and understanding of the game to really excel.
True.
The systems, even the defensive understanding, offensive movement, stuff that I would say we struggle with, not just in Kenya, but in the continent as a whole. So yeah, from there, played my 3 years of college ball, worked in the States for a couple of years, and then decided to come back to Kenya, and I thought my career was done.
Okay.
I came back to be just focus on my non-professional side.
Yeah.
I started a human resource, but there was a friend of my cousin. He's currently, I think he's still the coach at the French school here in Kenya. His name is Ken.
Yeah.
And he saw me, he saw my height. He was like, "Hey, do you play ball?" I was like, "Yeah, I am." And he was like, "Come, I'll take you to a ladies' team. Just play with them for one day,
Yeah.
and tell me how you feel." So I went. They had a practice session. I played with them that practice session.
Yeah.
Then when it was over, they were like, "Okay, you're on the team." I was like, I didn't know I was trying out, but okay, I have the time, so it's fine.
Yeah.
And that team was Eagle Wings.
Eagle Wings.
Yeah. So now I think most people know my trajectory from there. I played for Eagle Wings for a long time under the late coach Smart Olumbo, the legendary
R.I.P.
Rest in peace, Coach Late Smarts. We won the league 3 times back to back. We won Zone 5 championships 3 times back to back. We were bronze medalists at the Africa Club Championship Games in Morocco.
Yeah.
A very established team. I would say the only team that really gave KPA a run for their money, because KPA is a dynasty team, right?
Yes.
It was Eagle Wings. So it was a great time for me. Around that time, I also played for the national team.
Yeah.
Ended up captain of the national team for about, I think it was 3 years as well. And then, I don't remember if I was banned then or banned later. But because of my activities and, outspoken about the problems that were happening in the Basketball Federation, I think I left. I wanted to focus on other things. And then I came back. Then I think I was banned. Then I came back again now for the Afrobasket in 2019, I think it was. And I've been playing basketball ever since. I was banned for the last time in 2019 after we did that video where we were asking for funds.
I remember.
So, right now playing for Equity Hawks. Wasn't happy with how last season ended, being swept by Z-Tech University. So I think I'll give it one more run, just to show them that us old heads can still play. and then I'll call it a day.
Well, somebody saying that we misquoted her. What she meant was actually congratulations to the 3-on-3 team. They actually managed to go to the finals.
Yes.
They go to the finals.
They're playing today, right? I think against Mali.
Against Mali,
Congratulations to them. Now the lady, we misquoted her actually. This is what she meant. That Kitaramba Tunisia.
By the way, we also forgot to congratulate the special Olympic team. That went to Berlin in Germany. They did well. I think we got some medals. deputy president hosted them. They were given money, all that. I think it was nice. I saw that and I was happy. Like, at least talent is doing something for someone.
True.
Yeah, for us. So I was happy with that.
Yes, Silalei, previous guest we had was Coach Abel. And Coach Abel mentioned something about the women's basketball in Kenya, the ladies basketball. It's not competitive as such as men, because you do realize we have the dynasty team, we mentioned the Equity, we have KPA. So everybody wants to play for the big teams. There is no competitiveness amongst other teams.
Right.
So in your opinion, because you played for the big names, they played on a larger scale, yes? What is your opinion on the competitive basketball in Kenya? What's the aspect that can work to make ladies basketball a little bit bigger like the men?
Right.
Yes.
It's funny because I've had this conversation with Coach Abel very many times before, and when he was trying to recruit me to play for Storms.
Yeah.
And I agree with him. The competitiveness of ladies basketball right now in 2023 has gone down from when I first entered the league back in 2010 or 11, 2010. Back then, you had KPA, you had Eagle Wings, you had Cope, you had Strathmore, you had USIU. All those 5 teams were extremely competitive.
Good teams, yeah.
Like in Silalei, you can lose.
Yeah.
You know? And there were probably even another 2 teams where even if you knew you were going to beat them, they would really give you a run for their money.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Right now, for the longest time, it was a 2-horse race between KPA and
Equity.
Hawks,
Yes.
which is why it's exciting even for me and especially for the fans to see ZTech University rise up the ranks.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now, demonstrate at a high level of competition and disrupt that flow of Equity and KPA between the 2 of them winning the championship.
Yes.
And I'm sure many people even thought that ZTech had a good chance of winning the championship.
Actually winning
this
the
year.
championship.
And the reason that is because it is true, all the quote-unquote superstars, or let me say the best players in women's basketball, are concentrated in 2, max 3 teams.
Yeah.
But why is that? It's because Equity and KPA are sponsored. They have money to pay allowance. So people are going to go to the teams where you can get maybe medical insurance, where you can get, it's not a lot of allowance, but a little change.
At least something.
Yeah, it is something to facilitate you playing. On top of that, these are teams that are probably going to play international tournaments. Equity usually goes for a tour in Malawi or another foreign country, same with KPA. These are teams that end up going to the Zone 5. So it's a tricky situation in terms of disrupting that balance until more teams are sponsored. Now there's this team called, I don't know if you've heard of them, they're called Twende. They play in this league.
The CL. Is it the
The one is for the ladies, yes. The Women Empowerment League.
For the ladies.
Yeah, so Twende is a team that has a lot of potential. They can rise up the ranks and then they're sponsored. If Twende were to get into the Premier League today, a couple, maybe 3, 4, maybe max 5 superstars would end up going to Twende.
Yes.
And if that happened, then now
it will be competitive.
Yes. It increases the level of competition. Now it's no longer 3 teams that are good, it's 4.
Yes.
So unfortunately, it's the current situation. And personally, I think the only way it can change is if there are more teams that have some kind of level of sponsorship. Just to attract that high level of talent.
True.
True. It makes a lot of sense.
That's what Abel told us the other time. When I was preparing in the morning, I was preparing for this. This is like the first time I was reading notes and all that. So when I was preparing in the morning, there's something interesting I found. I found out that there is a women basketball commission. I don't know if you've heard about it. And I for the longest time I thought it's the KBF that deals with the women's basketball as well as the men. I didn't know there was another separate entity for the ladies. So I don't know if you've heard about that, and maybe what's your take on the commission? Is it working?
I mean, I definitely know about the Women's Basketball Commission.
Yeah.
In fact, that video we did when we were in Senegal with the Dakar 10 asking for allowances, we actually addressed it to the Women's Basketball Commission.
Yeah.
Now, it's not necessarily an organization that has power to make decisions like the federation. The Women's Basketball Commission is very much under the Kenya Basketball Federation.
Yeah.
It's more of just a body that represents the women and how we feel, and can maybe speak out on issues that are related to women and organize some functions or events that have a slant towards women.
Yeah.
But in terms of it doesn't really have a say in terms of like the constitution or rules and regulations that the federation have set in place. Yeah. So it's more just a voice or like a union of representing the women.
And don't you think it's a bit fair if we have it separate? Like, let's take WNBA for example. Don't you think you can advocate for something like that? We have a separate commission or a sub-commission that deals with the ladies league alone.
It only makes
such that, because history has told us that ladies sports, basketball basically imerudishwa chini for the longest time. You guys don't even have a voice. You've said you don't even have a say in the constitution or anything. Is it possible that you can advocate for a separate sub-commission that deals with the ladies alone?
Absolutely. I would be 100% for that idea. And guess what? A lot more companies right now are looking to sponsor women's events and women's leagues more so than the men. And I think that if the women's league was separate, still underneath the Kenya Basketball Federation, which is a mandated FIBA body, right?
Yes.
But now the women's league is separate. They have their own sponsors. We have our own season.
Yes, just a sub-commission.
I think that's something that would work really well.
Yes.
But realistically, for it to happen, would take a leader who is very revolutionary and. Because guess what? If the women's league comes out, that means less money goes towards now the men.
Yeah, somebody like you, a leader like you. No, at least you can advocate for that.
No, when it comes to advocating, I definitely would. But stepping into an official position of leadership in Kenyan basketball, I don't feel. Interestingly enough, I don't even feel it's about the guys up there. I don't think that we, as the Kenya basketball fraternity, are ready to come together and really make moves for the positive good. Like guys will stab you in the back. Guys will be cowards. Will step back. If they receive a little threat or if you give them a little like sotatu.
Trust me.
Right?
That happens every day.
We see it.
You guys have been there.
It happens every day.
A little threat, somebody ameingiza mkia. It's pathetic actually.
It really is. So the problem is not the leadership. The problem is us, we the people, the direct benefactors of these rules and regulations, of people who are directly affected by corruption in the league. We're not unified enough to stand together and be like, enough.
Yes.
So, of course, Silalei, you've been, a journalist for some time, and I saw you. I think a while back you were working, I think with Kwese Sports, and what was the name of the show again? Ball in Africa.
Right.
Ball in Africa. Yeah, and I saw you interacted with some big names, African icons, legends, real legends. And I feel like there's a lot that you learn from those people, and maybe you will share with us like some of the things that you learned from these people that we can implement in our league, to just grow it and make it better.
Yeah, bring a little bit of sponsorship. You interacting with people like Serge Baka.
Yeah, Serge. I saw you with Serge, Masai. I don't know. I saw you just a picture of you and Dikembe.
These are big names. These are big names.
The legend. And by the way, I think funnest person for me to meet was Dikembe.
Yeah.
Because there it's like, no, this is a legend. This is a pioneer in African basketball for the NBA, right?
Yes.
2, the guy is so huge.
Yeah.
He is so, I'm tall.
Yeah.
But I stand next to him and I felt tiny. You know?
The game is like 7, I don't know, 7 something.
7'1", maybe, around there. Then he has that Dikembe. The way he talks.
The way he talks with his
the way
voice
he
there,
Back in Congo. Like it was like real life. You know,
Yeah.
seeing people that you idolized growing up and you're meeting them in person. I think that for me, meeting him was I had a little fangirl moment.
Yeah.
And that was very exceptional for me. But the person who I enjoyed talking to the most, and I've interviewed him several times, is Masai Ujiri.
Yeah.
And Masai, there was a time I was interviewing him, and then afterward, it was a great interview, and then afterwards he was like, Silalei, whatever you do, he's like, don't leave Africa.
Yeah.
He's like, talent like you, with experience, with the knowledge, with the passion for the game,
Yeah.
you leave
Yeah.
and you go to the diaspora.
Yeah.
And that's because, you know, there are more opportunities in sports there, 1.
Yeah.
2, you're recognized for your skill set much more than maybe than you are here.
Yeah.
But he was like, don't leave.
Yeah.
People like you, guys like you, need to stay and grow the game here.
Yeah.
He's like, people say, he was telling me how people say he's a revolutionary and, you know, how does it feel to be the first and only African who is doing ABCD? He's like, I don't like it.
Yeah.
He's like, we need to be like 20 of us doing this.
Yes.
That's how we're going to impact the industry.
Yes.
I can't carry this burden alone, and I don't want to carry that burden alone.
Yeah.
And for me, I felt that was so profound,
Yeah.
which is why I get really excited when I see even someone like Sarah Chan.
Yeah.
Sarah Chan is brilliant,
Yeah.
very intelligent, very well spoken, an advocate for women's rights, understands the game, understands the business side of sports,
Yeah.
and recruiting talent. And guess what? She lives right here in Kenya.
Yeah.
Yes.
And has no interest. She could probably move to Toronto if she wanted to,
Yes.
or to the States.
I talked
But
to
she has,
her.
yeah, she has no
Yeah, you
interest,
talked to her.
you know?
Yeah.
She wants to stay right here. And for me, those are the kinds of people who will change the face of basketball.
Yeah.
You know, there's another guy called Chris Mulumba. He's based in Congo, doing amazing things over there, recruiting talent, sending them to the States, getting them opportunities. He's involved in an academy over there. He's also involved in several NBA activities.
Yeah.
He could live anywhere in the world if he wanted to. He could live anywhere in the world. He has the skill set and the talent to do that, but he has
It's just to stay
intentionally
here. Yeah.
decided to stay here.
Mm.
And I think for me that was the biggest learning point. And it's tough to be those first people,
Yeah.
you know, paving the way for the rest, but it's absolutely necessary
Yeah.
for those of us who do have that passion, talent, skill set, and expertise of sports and basketball and bringing up to the level that it needs to be, for us to stay here on the continent
Yeah.
and really effect that change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So lessons that you learned from there that probably we can implement in Kenya
Yeah.
to increase. We have more sponsors coming in, advocates for the game as well. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do we need to change in Kenya?
Listen, and it goes right alongside where I work right now.
Yeah.
Sports and entertainment have to merge. And I've been getting that message a lot from these guys. The level of organization has to improve so that if you're going to a sports or a basketball event here in Kenya, it can't be so disorganized. Like it can't be an African version of this basketball game, right?
Mm.
Why can't it be the same level of organization, professionalism as if you had gone to a game in New York?
Yeah.
That's the first thing.
Mhm.
So the level of organization, the level of standard has to be high.
Yeah.
That comes down to the people you hire to organize the event, making sure that guys aren't skimming off the top, the level of corruption is low.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's the first step in terms of improving it. Second is making sports events entertaining.
Yeah.
Right now, guys will go to a basketball game, which watch a game, which are in their home. Maybe there'll be a DJ in the background playing some songs.
Yeah.
And I think things are improving in Kenya.
Yeah.
But the entertainment level has to increase.
Yeah.
Let's involve the entertainment sector a bit more. Let's have guys who are like if you see pictures from an NBA game, you see Bad Bunny front row.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You see Beyonce and Jay-Z across the way, eating popcorn, drinking a soda, watching the game.
Yes.
That elevates the profile of the game.
Yeah.
So for basketball right now, the guys who watch the game are just guys from the hood. It's us.
Yeah.
It's us guys who either already played the game, so now we're just coming to watch.
Yeah.
Player fans.
Yeah.
Player fans. Exactly. If you were to tell guys inside, like even the packed out arena, everyone who has never played basketball before, you stay.
Yeah.
Everyone who's a player fan or former player, you guys leave.
Yeah.
The gym will be empty.
It will be. We talked about that.
Yeah.
It will be empty.
It will be empty.
Literally.
Yeah.
But you see, now the way you touch the rest of the guys, the people who have not played basketball or currently not playing basketball but love the game, it's the entertainment element.
Yeah.
You know, can they win T-shirts being in the crowd?
Yeah.
Who's going to be performing at halftime?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
can you buy merch on location?
Yeah.
Is it easy to buy? You know, like is there a concession stand? Is it easy to buy food?
Yeah.
Are there vendors outside that you can interact with so I can come there and buy some Oraimo earphones
Yeah.
right before I get in?
Yeah.
That's now when you're seeing sports becoming a business, and that's when now you're merging the entertainment element.
Yeah.
So people are coming not just for the game,
Yeah.
but for the experience.
Yeah.
So I think that's another valuable lesson that I was able to pick up from the guys I've met
Of course.
with. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
I think that is something that we can implement.
Yeah.
This is something we can bring that to the game.
Yeah.
Yes, we can make the change if the federation feels like they cannot market the game to the extent they feel like.
Yeah.
I think we can take up arms and market the game.
Yeah.
Of course, we've been marketing the game since day one, since our first episode.
Yeah.
And we actually talked to Sarah Chan during our fan camp after the Kenya game. And she mentioned about bringing Africa big, because basketball in Africa is the next big thing.
Yeah.
Basically, sports in general in Africa is the next big thing. And having advocates like you ready to stand up for the ladies and make them great, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
I think the first few episodes that we'll be having, the last episode we had a ladies coach, today we have you, and the next episode we're going to have a player, a lady as well.
Yeah.
If we have this more often, we can market the game to a whole new level.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So there's this segment I do. It's called Nani Wewe Buddha. Nani Wewe Buddha. Who are you, father? In English.
That is so direct.
I don't know it in English. It's when in Nani Buddha. Or who are you, father? So in this segment, I point out people who I feel like, you know, they have hijacked the game, and you know, when you go to Facebook, especially Facebook, sometimes I feel Facebook is just the wrong platform
For basketball.
Yeah, very toxic.
Yeah.
You see people talking a lot. Like, you know, you can find a whole, someone has written like, I don't know, 2-3 paragraphs trying to push a point, like, you know, we are talking about corruption in our game. Like, that is something we all know. There's something wrong up there with the federation. There's something wrong. But we try to use a lot of big words, and, you know, people are there arguing. So in this segment, I think the first segment I did, we were talking to Derito about the stakeholders. We talked about the stakeholders, who they were. The second one I did with Tranel, we talked about the self-sponsored teams. So today, there's another word I see that's thrown a lot hapo kwa Facebook. Everyone who's talking there, unajua hapo Facebook watu huongea na hasira sana. People are very mad when they talk hapo kwa Facebook. And there's a word they throw a lot hapo, inaitwa structures. Structures. Kila mtu anasema, you know, our basketball is good, but the structures. We have the talent, but the structures. So easy structures. Ni nini? structures ni nini? Mimi sielewi structures ni nini. So I think wacha nichukue kwanza take ya Pato. Then Silalei will tell us pia structures ni nini Pato.
So the structure of a game probably in my perspective is how you play your game. Wewe unakuja tu scratch, unasukuma tu ball ni kaende. Unaona? The difference between organized basketball and the kaende, the famous kaende.
Run and gun.
Running gun. Yes. Unaona big man Isa Lowell amechukua ball hapo anataka kuenda coast to coast. Hiyo ndio the bad structure, the kaende.
Oh, okay.
So the ideal structure of basketball traditionally from kitambo way back, fundamentals, where big man chukua rebound, give it to the guard anakuja na bola akipanga kila mtu kwa court. However coach amewa instruct whatever plays you have and whatever defense you have and whatever your offense is, hiyo ndo structure again. Hiyo ndo wanasemanga kwa game, and actually it's very true because you realize most of our teams, national teams, hizo zimechaguliwa over the period of time, wanachukua the offensive side ya basketball ya mtu peke yake. So unajua kila mtu anajua mimi ni mdeadly. So yeye akichukua bola anataka kufanya mambo yake. That is now where we lose the structure. Hapo ndo hatuna structure. Because kila mtu ni deadly, ni otero.
Okay.
My perspective, my two cents thought.
Hiyo ni Pato. Unasikia Silalei structure.
Hapo kwa structures. I agree. We have no structures.
Okay. Umekubaliana na watu wa Facebook?
Yes, I agree. And unfortunately it's a coaching problem. Because our coaches teach traditional practice session is 80% running. Then maybe 20% ball work, right? We don't focus on like you said, Pato, fundamentals. Are you shooting properly or are you shooting like Odendo?
That's funny.
And even when he makes his shots.
Wait, Odendo, on behalf of Odendo, we are very sorry.
Shot, but imagine it goes in. So are you working on the shot, making sure the shot is good? Do you know how to set a proper screen? Most of guys in basketball here in Kenya don't know how to set a proper screen. Do you know when you're setting the screen whether you're supposed to roll to the basket or are you supposed to flare? Right? Or are you supposed to hedge a little bit because your defender is cheating, then roll back so you can get the ball? So I think lack of structures means lack of understanding of the game. Why do you do what you're doing? Why is it a better option to shoot now as opposed to take the layup? See, your defender is giving you space. And you know you have that shot. So shoot. But now your defender is giving you space, you've decided, hey!
Hapo ndio ana jab. The famous jab.
Crossovers, you know? So understanding the structure means understanding the roles of a different player in a team, understanding systems, understanding why you're doing what you're doing. You're not just running down the floor, catching the ball and doing a layup, I'm a dunk, so that guys can shout. Understanding how to play offense when you have a zone defense in front of you. Understanding how to break the zone defense. You know? Do you overload a side? Should you shoot the three more? I think those kinds of structures, which are things that kids in the States are taught from the age of 5. By the time a kid is 8-year-old, you tell them do an L cut, then drive to the basket. They'll do it. Right?
But can you do an L cut right now?
Bro, nilipitia clinic.
Clinic gani?
Mimi sikuenda. Nikwambia clinic yangu. Tulikuwa na Rajula clinic, ilikuwa ya Coach Kent. Na tulikuwa na Coach Obi.
Rajula kwa wapi?
Rajula sasa yako Majuba na.
Si wewe uko wapi?
Mimi
huwezi kufanya hilo.
Bro, pole bro.
Silalei, you said by the time a kid is 8, anaweza fanya haircut and all that. So it means uko kuna hiyo progression. Like before ufike like in the senior team, hizi vitu zote huko nyuma tayari unajua. Si unakuja kufunzwa when hata umefika sasa national team ndio tunaanza kufundisha haircut. Na kuna player mwenye ali complain that some players came from Europe, US, the international players So when they were in practice, kuna mtu alimwambia nipatie the Spanish pick and roll. So yeye amesimama na shangaa Spanish
pick and roll ni gani?
I think mimi my take on structures na kubaliana na everything you guys have said. I think kwa game structures zetu ziko chini, but mimi nilikuwa naona it's like when you see people arguing about structures pale kwa Facebook sana, I thought maybe they are talking about structures as a federation. Yeah, like so many people feel like we have everything that we need to become like one of the best basketball nations in the world. But the problem is the structures sasa za ku organize, you know, to make like the team be as good as we feel it should be. So for me
from the management side.
Yeah, from the management come up. Okay. That is where the structures thing is just off kabisa.
Okay. The organizational structure.
Yes, organizational structures. So I think when you see people arguing, basketball players, they argue different. Niko kwa group zingine pale kwa Facebook za other sports. Na ukiangalia arguments zao na uangalia arguments za watu basketball, they are a bit different. Basketball players, fans, I think so many people are intelligent. True. Because someone can just write a paragraph yenye ukisoma useme kama ningekuwa chairman wa KBF nisome hii kitu and I implement what this person is saying. Bro, hata tungekuwa podcast.
Tungekuwa maju
mbaya sana. So for me I think story structures, that is what I feel like maybe shida iko hapo kwa hiyo organizational structures. And maybe that is what people complain about. Kila sakisema structures I think ni hiyo. Our league, I don't know if you guys know this. This is one fact that hapo ndo mimi ungaria watu wengi. Nataka kuangaria nyinyi wawili sasa.
Okay.
Daanza na Silalei. Silalei, do you know when Kenya first joined FIBA? The year?
That would be a strong hell no.
Strong hell no. Pardon me?
I don't know.
You don't know? So you guys, if you don't know, Kenya first joined FIBA in 1965.
Okay.
1965. How many years? Bakasai?
50 plus.
2 carry 4.
Hey, sabu bro, math is not mathing.
Pole. Sijui ni mingi, ni miaka za babu yangu maybe. So I think I compare Kenya to South Sudan. Do you know when South Sudan joined FIBA?
I think it's less than 10 years.
Yeah, well, it joined 2013.
Wow.
2013. CC 1965.
And look at them now.
So I don't know if so you guys are getting what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what do you think South Sudan have done differently than Kenya, where that they have passed us by miles in 10 years? That time us guys you've been around 50 plus years. Yeah.
What they have done, I think first they just worked on your organization here, their federation. They just did a complete overhaul. When Lol Deng came, alipatiwa the keys.
Yes.
This is your federation now, you take us.
And he turned it around.
Yeah.
Sarah Chan mentioned that during your interview.
Yeah. She said,
alisema, watch South Sudan basketball for the next 5 years.
5 years.
Alisema 5 years. Yeah. Alisema it will be something else.
You just check. We were there for the game. Silalei, I don't know if you watched the game, your friendly match between Morans.
I didn't watch it.
Yeah, we played the South Sudanese team.
The Kenyan based.
Here. And those guys, they gave us a run for money. We won the game. It's okay. But for me, it was a question of, is it the Morans that won or did those guys lose? And for me, I feel like the Sudanese team gained.
They did gain.
They gained, and those guys they were balling. They were balling, and you know that is just a team that was ilichaguliwa tu hapa.
The average age was about 21.
Yeah, they were young guys. Ungeona size iko, it's like they knew what they were doing. Hawakuwa tina a lot kama sisi, because si tusha pump in resources hapo nini. Those guys just came and you saw how they played.
Very organized.
Let me throw a spanner in the works. Let me ask you guys this. For South Sudan, if Lual Deng was not the president, would South Sudan experience the same level of success that we're seeing today or not? Like if they're just stuck with their
federation that was there before?
Federation, because Lual Deng is bringing one, cash, two,
right,
networks, 3, exposure. He has been part of an organization that is considered one of the strongest sports organizations worldwide, the NBA. So like we're talking about structures. For him, he's understood what structures make basketball work. So again, if Lual Deng was not the president of because South Sudan the same situation, they have height, they have talent, they have natural skills, right? But they were still not getting someone. If Lual Deng was not there, would they be able to have achieved the same level of success that they've achieved today?
I would say that it's a big hell no.
Yeah, big no.
Big no.
But at the same time, Lual Deng, when he was still playing for the NBA, I heard some story, I don't know if they are fact or anything. I heard that he would bring in players from South Sudan as young as 10 years old. Then I would take through the high school and all that, the scouting and all that. So when he came back to South Sudan, ali withdraw hao wote. Akarudi nao.
Okay.
Wale wase alibuild.
Okay.
So aliwachukua yote.
Alikuwa na invest too.
Alikuwa na invest huko.
Okay.
Basketball wise.
Bring the talent back.
Bring the talent back. So I think I don't think you need that bigger platform to make change. I think you can make change at whatever position you are. We have players out there. What are you doing to build Kenyan basketball?
Yes. Unajua me, what pisses me off most of the time is sometimes when you are questioning the federation, these people tell you, you know what, we are still tuko kwa baby steps. Kwanzia
1965 bado ni baby steps.
Baby steps. Like unajua it doesn't make any sense. Hizo ni miaka mingi sana.
No, Silalei made a point which made sense. We are not marketing this sport. We are basketball players and fans. Hakuna room for expansion anywhere. So first of all, inafaa ianzie the marketing of this sport kwanza. Such that now you can create that bigger platform for everybody else to be involved. Investors watakuja hapa because they'll see something. Wataona fans wanakuja, wanalipa, wanaingia. When they call it, Abel said professional teams make a professional league. Right? First of all, tuanzie professional teams kwanza. Then we create a professional league. They market the game. Everything else itakuwa smooth. Will not be at our baby steps. 60 years from now, zikiendelea. There's a topic we needed to talk about. Everybody think you know this story better than me. I think it's better you ask it.
I do. In the elephant in the room. So I saw Silalei kuna kitu alipost on Facebook. Of course, niko hapo in those groups. So I saw something interesting. There was this letter. I don't know if it was a letter. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was I don't know. But I just read it.
We bonge na fact. I don't know.
I saw it. Iko kwa Facebook. I can even just pull it up right now.
Okay.
I saw that thing and I read it. Na ilikuwa barua ya I think this guy, let me not even say a thing, because we know there was this scandal about a coach. So this coach allegedly, to me I feel like implicate at some point, because when this whole scandal really blew up, this Philip coach, niliingia kwa Facebook and I was, looking for everyone who was mentioned there. I remember I reached out to Zedi. I asked him. I asked the guy who was speaking to him on phone, Ansley. I think Johnny to Ansley Mama Nani. And then I spoke to Philip himself. I have the messages on my phone, on Facebook. And, I was like asking him, man, like, is this what you guys do? And, I think in the true fashion, kill a big fish, someone who feels they're big in this country, started threatening me and hey, I have brothers who are working with the police, or like things like that. So I talked to Zedi. I told Zedi, you have been mentioned mahali, sijui kama umesikia. He told me yes, amesikia about it, and he has lawyers on the ground who are working with him. All that was said was not true, and what. I said it's okay, but I don't know what happened hapo katikati. I left the thing. Then when nilijua kuna kesi that was going on about whatever happened. So when I saw this letter and I knew the case was still pending, police was still doing investigation. Then naona KBF wameachilia barua saying that this guy is innocent. Basically, that is what they are saying. We are even welcoming him back. Now, kuongeza chumvi kwa kidonda. Somebody else hapo kwa Facebook anakuja anatuambia that hao ndo ma big boys wa basketball in Kenya. And it's like they can do whatever they want without anyone asking them anything. So I felt bad. I saw niliona Silalei, I think I'll comment on that. And it's not a good look at all. Na kwa hiyo the ad hoc committee yenye walikuwa nasema wameform KBF, there was a lady in it. So
hata ulishtuka.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something, Roba. This Philip ako kwa KBF na anakuwa investigated bado na KBF. So KBF is investigating itself.
You cannot steal
and coming up with a verdict on an issue that is very sensitive because it's affecting this issue affected a player, a very young player.
Is it a player or players?
Oh, okay. The players.
The most current one.
Yeah, the most current one was a player, but imekuwa happen probably behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So any kitu may affect a player. Mwenye mzazi trust huyu coaches na huyu mtoto wake. Akasema iti mimi naenda trip na coaches as a team.
Yeah.
So this is an issue that's sensitive.
Yeah.
Yenye unajiinvestigate wewe mwenyewe. Na una come up na verdict unasema now I'm innocent.
Yeah. Maybe wewe tuambie usia tuelewi.
Hebu si yenyewe atujue, hebu tuambie from zero sasa tuelewe.
I mean, to be very honest, when I came back to the States back in and got into basketball back in 2010, 2011.
Yeah.
That is when I heard for the first time that there's a coach in the basketball fraternity who preys on young women and who hosts these girls. Like you said, parents give him young girls. He develops and sends them for basketball opportunities in the States.
Yeah.
But there are allegations and accusations that he's inappropriate with these girls. These are underage girls, right?
Yeah.
I was hearing these rumors back in 2011.
Yeah. Oh. 2011.
Yes.
Oh.
2011. And I was hearing the stories. There was a friend of mine who personally experienced it herself.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna say her name.
She
personally experienced it herself. And I was like, you guys, we need to do something. We need to tell CNN. We need to blow this guy out of the water.
Yeah.
But guys were so fearful.
Yeah.
People are so fearful of this man.
Yeah.
I'm not just talking about kids. Boys, girls, adults, men, grown men are so fearful of this man, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
So now fast forward, there's now this issue where an audio is leaked.
Yeah.
Where this young lady is saying about her experience with Coach Philip.
Yeah.
The video was circulated, and guys were just talking about it in groups.
Yeah.
And I was like, people, what do you mean you're just talking about it in groups?
Yeah.
Blow this thing out of the water. The proof is now there. We have someone who has given a first-hand experience.
Yes.
So that's when now I went on the Facebook page and we're saying stop sexually harassing our girls in basketball. Come to find out, it's not just basketball, it's also netball.
Whoa.
So guys in netball are like, hey, by the way, we know this guy, and let's not say that Philip is the only person who does these things.
Yeah.
I believe that there are more, and I've heard stories of them being more.
Yeah.
But in terms of intentionally seeking out girls and taking advantage of a system and taking advantage of a position of authority, that I know for a fact that this man does, right? But unless the victims come out and actually say, by the way, A, B, C, D happened, it's hard to have very tangible and concrete evidence that these things have happened.
Yes.
As is usually the case when it comes to sexual assault. But as the Women's Commission, now this is where I say the Women's Commission really played a huge role. They really tried, myself and members of the Women's Commission, we physically went to FIDA, explained the situation. FIDA offered support in terms of psychosocial support, counseling to victims, protection, representation, legal representation, and it was moving along really well. And that's when now media houses started reaching out as well, and this story was really building momentum, and we were creating awareness about the issue. And for the first time, Philip, it looked like justice was going to prevail, and he was being properly investigated. And even though we were not talking about it much, under the scenes, things are still moving along, which is why now it has progressed to a police case. And there's different stakeholders in women's basketball who are doing things Chinyamaji to just get justice and make sure that this issue is properly investigated. So at that point now, people kind of forgot about it. Not forgot about it, but we're not talking about it on a day-to-day basis, right? There was a huge outcry. KBF came forward and said that they removed him from his positions of authority. KPA, same thing. Nation Media, same thing. So we're like, good. This is great progress, and things seem to be moving along. Then now, that's when I saw this letter, and it was sent to me, and where it says KBF is not only releasing him from his accusations, but wishing him well, and cordially inviting
him back,
welcoming him back.
Wow.
This is a guy who, not one, not 10, not 30, more than 50 women, unofficially, have said that they have had an issue of this nature with him. So KBF, this issue, police are still investigating it. So for me, I'm like, how can KBF be like, we released this guy? And even the police, they've not finished the investigation. They've not released the guy. So for me, it's a situation of, what is the Federation trying to hide? We
probably
saw a Tula signature there.
Probably kuna wengine wako involved in such.
Exactly.
Such that what I have to protect this guy by all means.
Not even probably. If me coming from the States, it doesn't take me longer than a year to know that this guy is involved in these activities. That means how many other people know. That means members of the Federation know.
They know.
I'm sure they know.
And you have to ask yourself, okay, so now did the Federation enable it? Not actually, they're doing it themselves, but if you know that this guy is a sexual predator and has sexual assault cases, but you continue to allow him to be the coach of a girls' high school team for years, so you're enabling it.
You are.
Yeah, you are.
You're enabling it. If word on the street is you're hearing rumors, do an investigation. Do a private investigation first.
Yes.
As a federation. Before you even involve police. If you find that there's evidence, you're finding 2 or 3, even one victim who's like, by the way, this is what happened to me. See, now you take the necessary courses of action. So for me, that document is just demonstrating that the federation is culpable. Maybe not every single member of the federation, but at least one member is culpable.
Who is very influential.
And who is very influential. And I feel like Coach Philip probably has dirt on him. So they were trying to sweep this under the carpet.
Under the carpet.
That he doesn't expose them. But you see, now that's just my opinion.
I think people should come, ladies should come out here and say the truth. I think if you have 2 or 3 who can speak their mind, who can be bold enough to say this fearlessly, so that at least that the easy to this in the leg will happen, because it will still happen.
I know it will.
I mean, my understanding is there are 7 ladies who are willing and want to come forward and give bear witness to their experience.
Wow.
Which I think is amazing.
That is more than enough.
And it's more than enough to create a very strong case against this guy.
Yeah.
You know, but like you just said, Pato, for me it pains me when this is happening and guys are silent, and not just guys, but women.
Yeah, they're silent.
You know, and like you said, seeing a woman's name on that document.
Yeah.
For me, it's just like, wow.
That was an insult, man.
If we can't advocate for ourselves, who do we want to advocate for us? Who do we want to fight for us?
Wow.
You know?
Yeah, so
true.
I don't know. That is just, this is something we would love to see coming to an end. We want justice. We want justice for all the victims, all the girls who are out there, and you know, they have just undergone. You know, that is something that is very sick. No, we can't just tolerate that. You know, keeping quiet and, you know, stepping aside, and like, I don't know why we do that sometimes. We need to talk about these things. Let's talk about these things. Yeah, we need justice. So I would want to see this thing come to an end.
We're actually driving away potential basketballers, mostly from the ladies, because parents cannot trust their kids with our coaches.
You can't.
Parents cannot allow the kids to go on trips far away with this type of coaches. You see, that is actually derailing the Kenyan basketball at some point.
True.
And that brings whatever I talked about before.
Yeah.
It's a good idea to have a separate sub-commission under KBF that deals basically with women basketball.
Yeah.
Yes, because they understand that better, such that we don't rely on the men's basketball too. To bring the women basketball up.
So with this committee that they formed, I feel like why can't we just get like an independent committee?
Right.
Yeah. Committee that is independent. They are going to do a proper investigation. You know, because it still doesn't make sense. You then you investigate yourself.
Yeah.
You can't do that. So
it's pathetic.
I hope we're going to get, you know, to the end of this.
I think we can actually help these women come out and say something.
Yeah, if they can, that would be awesome.
Yeah. If they can come out and say something, I think we are more than willing to help them.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
And Silalei, we are here if you need us. If you have anything that you need publicized or anything, something that really affects basketball players, we call them skateholders.
So we say they are not stakeholders.
They are skateholders. Yes, anything that is affecting them, we can help put it out there.
Yeah.
They can get help.
Yeah. I mean, I'm curious to know, what do you guys, as men, in the men's basketball fraternity, what do you think your role is when it comes to issues like this? Because, you know, it's very broad.
Yeah.
Toxic culture is talking about women in degrading ways and hitting on underage women and, you know, covering up for each other.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's a situation where you have a lot of men who are in power.
Yeah.
And men who are usually in those power situations. When it comes to gender-based violence, it happens mostly towards women.
Yeah.
So what role do you feel as men you guys can have in making sure this stuff doesn't happen, in making sure that you're a voice for also the victims in these kinds of scenarios?
Yeah.
If you see your boy hitting on a 14-year-old girl, you know, or you see another male coach making derogatory comments towards another girl. Yeah. Oftentimes, even, you know, you guys know our watering hole is probably Westmore.
Yeah.
You know, we see there are many situations where I've seen a woman feel very uncomfortable because of how another guy from the men's basketball fraternity is behaving with her. Yeah. And the guys who speak up and of the other men,
Yeah.
it's the chicks
Yeah.
who are like, no, 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 no. And yet, you know, we're considered the weaker gender,
Yeah.
weaker in terms of physical sense.
Yeah.
So the guy can threaten us, he can beat us up and everything like that. So I want to throw it back at you guys
Yeah. Yeah.
and hear what your thoughts are on that.
Inaitwaga bro code.
Yeah.
You see, people don't realize it's something creepy when it's somebody else, but let it touch on their sister
Yeah.
or their daughter or somebody close to them or somebody they love. That is when now they'll feel the pain. So I think we should just point out whatever bad behavior is out there. Let's just point it out and say something about it. If you see your boy hitting on a 14-year-old girl, obviously, bana sisi
Yeah.
a few friends I'm really close to,
Yeah.
and we talk about this. Mtu haizi katia dem ako high school
Yeah.
at our age as at now, we cannot do that, and we'll point it out.
Yeah.
Tutakutafutia hata dem
Yes.
kulete.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we just say it.
Yeah.
If it is wrong, it is wrong.
Yeah, it's wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really, hiyo bro code, bu ifikiria kidogo before you act on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I think first, before I'm even a basketball player, I'm a man. Hiyo ni ya kwanza, and I know my roles as a man in the society. Yeah. Part of that, I'm supposed to be the protector.
Protector.
Yeah, as much as I'm the provider also, I need to protect.
Right.
So I am always going to carry that on my back. So before I'm a player, before I'm anything else, I'm a man first. And if I cannot protect the women, then I don't think if I'm playing my roles as a man. It doesn't matter anything else I'm doing, but if I cannot protect the women, then I'm failing as a man. So me, I feel like these guys who are taking advantage of these young girls, these are people who have already failed.
As men.
You know, these are people who have serious issues. You know, for you to just, you know, someone who's like 50, 60 years old, you know, and then you're taking advantage of 13, 12-year-olds. It means there's something wrong with you. It's more mental, no. So these people who cannot protect women, which is supposed to be the role of the man, these are the people who are like, you know, just dragging us behind, even with what is happening right now. That is why, Silalei, you're saying I think very few people are speaking about it. You will see, like, even when the letter was posted there on Facebook, ni watu kidogo wali comment, and some of them ni wenye they were congratulating the move. Yeah. They were like, it's a good move. So that means we have a problem. We have a very big problem. We cannot continue doing that as men. Kwa sababu pato, hii podcast yetu inaitwa The Foul and One.
Yes.
It means for you to be foul na upatiwe hiyo and one, inamaanisha lazima ulikuwa umeingia kwa violence.
Of course.
You know that? Na ukaimaliza. So you're not afraid of anything.
We are not.
Yeah, we just go hard. So I think we need as men to just step up. We need to protect our women. Sioni kama inaweza kucost a lot to just point out something that is wrong. You don't need to go and unajua trying to unataka kufurahisha kila mtu.
No, I think if you cannot point it out, maybe you are part of the problem. You are a perpetrator yourself.
Yeah.
So if you are not bold enough to point it out, labda chini ya maji wewe pia unafanya vitu kama hizi.
You're just doing the same thing.
And it actually happens out here. Unapata mtu anasoma tu kama moshene, anacheka tu huyu amepatikana.
Yeah.
You see, if you don't point it out, kuna change umemake.
Yeah. Yeah.
And mtu ameachiliwa, you celebrate at the same time.
Yeah, interesting. I think I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Yeah, so tumeongelea vitu people with this episode, guys are going to be shocked. Tumeongea English, man. Silalei amefanya tukaongea English hapa,
tumestrago bana wewe.
Hey, imeisha mtu wangu.
Bana English interview bana.
Yeah. Hey, at least for a change bana. Wasitudharau. Yeah. Wasitufikiria tuko tulienda shule bana. Yeah, so imekuwa poa.
True.
Yeah, it has been a nice one, nimeenjoy. Yeah, this is one of those episodes zenye nilikuwa nimeanticipate sana.
Yeah.
I prepared well. I hope
did research.
Nilifanya research mbaya sana. Nakumbuka nikiwa naomba mjana tunasema we have to exchange notes. Uangalie zangu niangalie zako tujue what we are coming to say here.
Yes.
So but imekuwa poa. Thank you Silalei for coming through. It has been amazing. Na kama kawaida lazima episode ikiisha we say si usemaga what we have learned from our guest. Na mimi leo Kenya nimelearn kutoka kwa actually si kitu moja, ni mob sana, but the most important one yenye nimelearn leo is that we just need to be fearless. You know, kitu kama ni mbaya sema ni mbaya, don't hide behind it. And then kuna ile kitu alituambia that Masai alimshow, you know, usitoke uende anywhere, just stay here. Pato mimi najua nitakanga kutoka sana
bana, hiyo age ilipita. You know, sasa hivi ndio mahali unajua Silalei pia ametuambia kukuwa pioneer kwa kitu, like when you're the one who's starting it's always very difficult. So sisi tumeanza podcast, si ndio? Sijui kama ni ya kwanza kuongelea baki ya Kenya. I don't know if there's another one, maybe iko, but I think hata kama iko we are among the first. So it's going to be difficult easy you know, masiku za kwanza before things start looking up. So mimi nimelan from Silalei leo vitu mob sana, and I'm very 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 grateful that I'm show up leo. You know, special guest na ni legend. We have to stress hapo kwa legend manzi. She's legendary. We love her. To represent manze as a country. I wanted to talk about hiyo story ya Senegal pale, but I don't know time hakuna. So maybe hiyo tutaongelea next time akikuja.
Yeah, so Pato is juu umelan nini?
I've learned she's really passionate about basketball.
Yeah.
Anapenda hii game sana.
Yeah.
And if she's up for the task, she can really advocate for the ladies basketball ikuwe leveled up.
Yeah.
And I've learned as well that she's waiting for a backup.
Yeah.
Sijui backup atapata wapi.
Yeah.
Lakini at some point ataipata.
Yeah.
And she'll make change. Definitely.
We have backup iko.
I think this is just an advice to her. And I miss your gopi kusema. Leave men's basketball alone.
Yeah.
Please concentrate on women's basketball.
Yeah.
We are willing to offer any help that is out there. This is a platform that we can use to advance basketball, ladies basketball out here.
Yeah.
Because so mimi naombea Silalei, please advocate for basketball, ladies basketball. Please be a champion for change.
Yeah.
And we are willing to support anytime.
Yeah. Silalei tupatie parting shot.
Yeah.
I mean, I like that challenge, and challenge accepted.
Yeah.
I'll do what I can. I agree with you, and I do what I can to make steps in that direction. Mine is just to appreciate you guys. Thank you for being you. Thank you for your mindsets. Thank you for being open-minded and for challenging the status quo. This is a lovely, lovely platform, and it's an honor for me to be here in the early days.
Yeah.
So now, later, hey guys, remember me? I was one of your first guests.
Kiomoka lazima kupigie simu.
You guys are up there, so it's an honor to be here in the early days. I love seeing things at their conception and then seeing it grow. So you guys really stick with this. You're onto something great. Even if there are other basketball podcasts out there, the industry is huge. The more the merrier. I'd love to see this thing grow to the level of LeBron James uninterrupted, right?
Yeah.
So now you bring in proper heavy hitters and proper legends, you know. So keep it up.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I really enjoyed. I feel like you guys laugh more with the other guests than you did with me. Because we're speaking English.
English
improve.
Tuende shule tena.
Improve up.
But thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Hata si mazi tumefurahi umekama. So si umaliza hapa na tuko hapa na catchphrase inakuwaga noma sana. Kama Silalei ataiweza. So na directors count hapo tunasemaga waga ni mbaya. Waga ni mbaya.
Roba, tukisema hiyo na English inakuwa
it is always bad. Waga ni mbaya.